I don't know how many of you keep a journal. I don't now, but I once did. One day I was sitting in my study, flipping through the pages of an old journal and reading entries from about 10 years ago. And as I look back, I feel a rush of gratitude for where I am now. One of the side effects of taking the red pill can be despondency or feeling disillusioned. It's all too easy to get mired in or become overly focused on the negative. And given the harsh realities we face as men, this is understandable. However, as MGTOW, we have a lot to be grateful for. We have cause to celebrate, mainly because we are free. Reflecting back on my post-divorce life, I just love coming home now. I chose my name after reflecting on an experience. I was talking to one of my kids, and I used to have this practice when I came home because I didn't know what state of mind I was gonna find my then wife in. I didn't know if I was gonna come home to the happy wife, the angry wife, the emotional wife. I had no idea what I could say or might not say would set her off. So often when I would pull into the garage and I would just sit in the car for a minute or two before I went into the house and just kind of clear my mind and kind of brace myself as best as I could for whatever might be coming my way. But one of my kids asked me, says, "Dad, you used to pull into the garage and you wouldn't come in the house. You would just kind of sit in the car. Why did you do that?" And now I look back, it's obvious. I mean, they could hear the garage door opening as I pulled in and the garage door closing. And they knew that there was a period of time between the garage door closing and the time I actually entered the house. But now as a single man, as a MGTOW, I love coming home. And it's just like my soul just feels like it's free. I don't have to walk around on eggshells anymore. So that's kind of how I chose my name, Emancipated Soul, because after going through the hell of family court and divorce and just the visceral emotions I felt post divorce, I finally found a place where I felt peace, happiness, and contentment. So that's why I chose my name, Emancipated Soul, because I truly feel like my soul has been freed. For those of you going through painful turmoil like I was, I want to tell you something. I can't promise you that it'll be easy, but I do promise you that if you do the right things, it'll be worth it. Often things will get worse before they get better. Maybe you're not going through a divorce, but are contemplating divorce, or maybe you're facing some other difficult decision. If so, please do yourself a favor and go through this little mental exercise. Whenever you're at a crossroads or faced with a difficult decision, try projecting yourself 5 or 10 years in the future. Then, from that vantage point, look back on this moment. It's often difficult to look objectively at our current situation. Emotions, stress, and lack of proper perspective can cloud our judgment. So it's useful to ask ourselves, what are the most likely outcomes, and how might we view our decisions if we were to look back on them, say, 5 or 10 years from now? For me, that moment of clarity came when I began to think about the emotional well-being of my children. They were still very young. How would my decisions impact their ability to form healthy relationships in the future? Did I really want them growing up in an emotional war zone, thinking that this was normal? What level of dysfunction would I be passing on to them? From that vantage point, I did gain a bit of clarity. Although that clarity did not make the path forward any easier, it did grant me some peace of mind and gave me the strength to soldier on in my darkest moments. Thankfully, the darkness didn't last forever, and things slowly got better over time. My children, as well as myself, are in a much better place than we would have been had I chosen differently. As I look back to where I came from, the hell I went through trying to make someone happy that, for all intents and purposes, wasn't capable of being happy, I'm just so grateful for my life now. Being able to view the lives of other men through the lens of MGTOW really makes me glad that I am an emancipated soul. Not every guy and that's married and has children is miserable or unhappy, but you can tell those who are. Let's see, some other positives I'm grateful for. Increased confidence and self-esteem. Now I don't look externally for validation. I'm grateful for the shared experiences and lessons learned from the MGTOW community that not only help me not to repeat the same mistakes, but help me not to make new ones. Improvements in my social and emotional health. The freedom to live without fear of being emotionally browbeaten or having to walk around on eggshells. Also, I've experienced improved health. One of the biggest threats for men health-wise isn't heart disease or cancer. It's out-of-control stress. And our reactions to that out-of-control stress can in many cases cause and worsen our health problems. It's nice to have internal peace. We have that emotional mooring of knowing who we are and of that internal validation. And one of the great things about self-validation and healthy self-esteem is that you don't need to be in a relationship or constantly surrounded by others to feel good, to feel happy or fulfilled. One time I was relating to a friend about an experience I had on a Friday night. My first reaction after I got home was, I need to go out to happy hour or a bar or something and try to have a good time. But I was feeling a little tired, so I decided to cook myself a nice meal, and while I was cooking I was enjoying sipping on me some wine. And after that I just relaxed, popped some popcorn, busted open a box of movie theater style candy and enjoyed a movie. And just enjoyed time by myself. And it's great to be able to enjoy time by yourself and be able to feel good about it. Now the next day, I got together with a group of friends, took them out boating, and had a great time. But it was nice just to be still, to have a time I didn't feel like I had to, chase women or, date or please somebody else. I just was able to take time to be by myself, and it actually felt good. So improvements to my financial health over the past 10 years have been tremendous. There's the little things like being able to save money. I remember there was times when I wasn't even able to set aside a few $100s for the unexpected. My ex-wife would spend what little I would set aside for emergencies, and then after that, if something came up, she looked at me like I could shit a golden brick. Now I'm not rich by any measure, but now I live comfortably and I have emergency savings as well as some retirement savings. And it's just a good feeling, to be able to pay all my bills, meet all my obligations, and have a little bit of money left over. But one of the biggest things I'm thankful for is just the knowledge that and the shared experience and brotherhood that I've received from the MGTOW community. Just knowing that, I'm not alone. Over the past year, I've realized that I don't need a woman in my life to make me feel complete. When I embraced MGTOW, I learned that I'm already a complete man and that a woman in my life would be an additional bonus at best. I've learned so much from my association with all of you online. And for that, thank you.